Hello mga KatroPICE! Welcome to Agad TV. In this video, i-aim nating may strengthening ang knowledge of theories and concepts by applying them in the sample problems. Kaya make sure to stay tuned until the very end. Kasi dito sa PICE-PUPSC Agad TV, we'll leave no one behind. Have fun learning and enjoy! So for today, ang ating isosolve ng mga sample problems ay about the powers of trigonometric functions. So here are the identities. So ito yung gagamitin natin para ma-reduce natin yung trigonometric functions into a single exponent of cosine function. So kung mapapansin natin, lahat ito, yung sine, cosine, at tangent, ay may equivalent na single exponent ng cosine function. So yun ang goal natin sa pag-reduce ng power ng trigonometric functions. So, simulan natin sa problem number 1, simplify using power-reducing identities. So, we have sine squared x times cosine squared x. So, based on sa formula given, ang gagamitin natin for sine squared x, pwede nating mapalitan siya as equal siya sa 1 minus cosine of 2x all over 2. And then, yung cosine squared x, pwede siyang maisulat as 1 plus cosine of 2x all over 2. And then, we can simplify this by using the difference of two squares. Kasi, difference in product ito ng dalawang terms. So, pwede ito maging difference of two squares. So, 1 times 1 is 1. And then minus cosine 2x times cosine 2x. That is cosine squared 2x. And 2 times 2, that is 4. But, we still have a problem. Naka-square pa rin yung cosine. So, we need pa rin na i-reduce yung power niya. So, para ma-reduce yan, yung cosine squared 2x, pwede natin siyang ma-rewrite as 1 minus cosine. So, yung angle natin is 2x na. So, cosine 2 times 2x all over 2. And then, meron tayong 4. So, bale itong cosine squared 2x, ginawa natin siyang ganito. Kinonvert natin siya into this. So, simplifying it further, magiging 1 minus, or itong 1, pwede na natin siya ma-write as 2 over 2 kasi 2 yung denominator. Minus 1 minus cosine of 4x. Kasi 2 times 2x is 4x all over 2. And then, over 4. So, pwede pa natin itong ma-simplify. And just copy the denominator. And then, 2 minus 1, and then negative times negative, that is positive, cosine of 4x. But, we still have all over 4. So, kapag ganito yung case natin, na may over 2 at saka may over 4, i-multiply lang natin yung dalawa kasi both silang magiging nasa denominator. So, bale, 2 minus 1, that is 1, plus cosine 4x. And then, yung cosine squared 2x, this should be plus pala. So, nagkaroon ng error, but still, ito ay dapat maging plus. And then, dahil dyan, negative times positive, this is still negative. And this should be negative also. So, 1 minus cosine of 4x, and then 2 times 4. Kasi, yung denominator natin ay na-multiply. So, simplifying this, cosine of 4x, 1 minus cosine of 4x all over 8. So, this should be our final answer for problem number 1. For problem number 2, cosine raised to the 4, 3x. So, pwede natin itong maisulat as cosine squared 3x. And then, square natin itong buong trigonometric function. And then, itong cosine squared 3x, pwede natin siyang ma-reduce into 1 plus cosine 2 times 3x all over 2. But, meron pa rin tayong squared. And then, pwede pa natin itong ma-simplify. So, 1 plus cosine 6x. Tama ba? Kasi 2 times 3x is 6x all over 2. And then, after that, i-erase natin itong buo into 2. So, 1 plus cosine 6x, raise natin siya by 2. And then, yung denominator, raise din natin by 2. So, parang dinistribute lang natin itong 2 into sa numerator and denominator. So, this should equal to, kapag in-square natin yan, meron tayong pattern for squaring a number. So, magiging 1 plus cosine 6x times 1 plus cosine 6x. Kasi di ba kapag nag-square tayo, minumultiply natin to by itself. So, 2 squared, that is 4. So, simplifying it further will give us 1 times 1, that is 1, plus cosine 6x times 1, that is cosine 6x, plus cosine 6x plus 1, that is still cosine 6x. So, dalawang cosine 6x is 2 cosine 6x, plus cosine 6x times cosine 6x is cosine squared 6x. So, at saka may all over 4. Pero, kailangan pa nating ma-reduce yung squared na to. So, para magawa yan, just copy the rest, cosine 6x. At ito, i-convert ulit natin ito into this form. So, ito magiging 1 plus cosine of 2 times 6x. Kasi yung ating angle ay 6x na. All over 2. And then, divide natin siya by 4. This should be bracket. Okay. And then, we can further simplify this. So, dahil ito, common denominator nila ay 2. Ang nandito, 2. So, 2 times 1, that is 2, plus, i-multiply natin, 2 times 2, that is 4 cosine of 6x, and then just copy yung nasa numerator nitong 2. So, 1 plus cosine 12x. Cosine 12x na siya kasi 2 times 2x. But, don't forget, meron tayong all over 4. So, gaya kanina, dahil naging double yung denominator, i-multiply lang natin sila. So, 2 times 4 yung denominator. And then, simplify natin yung numerator. 2 plus 1, that is 3. Plus 4 times the cosine of 6x plus the cosine of 12x. So, simplifying it further will give us the final answer, which is 3 plus the cosine of 6x plus cosine of 12x all over 8. So this is our final answer. Problem number 3, evaluate the expression into single power of cosine. So, yun yung goal ng power reducing trigonometric functions. Kasi, reduce natin ito into single power of cosine. So, equal siya, pwede natin siyang ma-rewrite as sine squared 4x squared. Kasi 2 times 2, that is 4. So, yung sine squared 4x, pwede natin siyang ma-rewrite as 1 minus cosine 2 times 4x all over 2. But, we still have to square that. Kapag in-square natin yan, magiging 1 minus cosine of 8x squared and then 2 squared. So, kapag in-square natin ito, ang magiging sagot niyan ay 1 minus 2 times cosine of 8x plus i-square natin itong cosine of 8x, which is cosine squared 8x all over 4. So, halos the same process sa previous problem. meron pa rin tayong square dito. So, kailangan pa natin siyang ma-reduce. So, one way is to just copy this, the rest, and then convert this cosine squared 8x into a single power of cosine. So, pwede natin itong ma-rewrite as 1 plus cosine of 2 times 8x all over 2. And then, meron pa tayong all over 4 sa buong equation natin, expression. So, dahil dito, gaya kanina, magiging over 2 din ito. So, dahil nag-over 2 tayo, mamumultiply sa 2 itong nasa labas. So, 2 times 1, that is 2, minus 2 times 2, that is 4, and then cosine of 8x. And then, just copy the numerator. 1 plus cosine of, what is 2 times 8x? That is 16x. And then, may all over 4 pa tayo. So, mamultiply lang itong 2 times 4, di ba? So, pwede itong ma-rewrite as 2 times 4. At saka, pwede natin ma-simplify ito. 2 plus 1 is 3 minus 4 cosine of 8x plus cosine of 16x. So, our final answer is 3 minus 4 cosine of 8x plus cosine of 16x all over 8. So, this is our final answer for problem number 3. So, move on tayo sa last problem. So, the cotangent of x raised to 4 times sine x squared. So, before natin gamitin yung power reducing identities, pwede natin itong ma-simplify pa. So, yung cotangent raised to 4x, pwede natin siyang ma-rewrite as cosine 4x over pwede natin siyang ma-rewrite as cosine x raised to 4. Yun. At saka yung sine ay sine squared x. And then, ang sunod natin pwedeng gawin ay pwede natin maisulat itong hindi pala ito cosine, cotangent. So, ang cotangent is just equal to cosine x over sine x. So, pwede natin yang erase sa 4. And then, remember, meron tayong sine squared x pa. And then, yung 4, pwede natin ma-distribute doon sa numerator at saka sa denominator. So, parang magiging cosine raised to 4x over sine x to the 4th power times sine squared x over 1. So, dito, makakancel na ito. So, yung sine x raised to 4, pwede na siyang ma-rewrite as sine squared x times sine squared x. So, parang hinati natin siya. So, ginawa natin yun para makancel natin tong sine squared x. So, itong equation na to, pwede na siya palang maging cosine raised to 4 x and then sine squared x. So, from here, alam na natin yung power identity ng trigonometric functions ng cosine and sine. So, pwede nating maisulat yung cosine raised to 4x as cosine squared x squared. And then, yung sine squared x, pwede natin siyang ma-convert as yung 1 minus cosine 2x all over 2. So, at dito naman, pwede natin ito masulat na cosine squared x as 1 plus cosine 2x all over 2 at saka a squared pa natin yan. And then 1 minus cosine 2x over 2. So, simplifying this, pwede natin ma-multiply ito. So, square natin yung 1 plus cosine of 2x. Square natin yan. And then, square din natin yung sa denominator niya, which is 2. And then, don't forget, meron pa tayong denominator na 1 minus cosine 2x all over 2. So, square natin ito, magiging 1 plus 2 cosine of 2x plus cosine squared of 2x. But all over 2 squared, that is 4. And then 1 minus cosine 2x all over 2. So, pwede natin itong masimplify pa. So, itong kapag ganito yung form, i-multiply natin itong dalawa sa numerator, i-multiply natin itong dalawa, at yun ang magiging nasa denominator. So, ang numerator natin ay magiging 2 times 1 plus 2 cosine of 2x plus yung cosine squared 2x, and then all over siya 4 times 1 minus cosine of 2x. So, dito makakancel na. Ito magiging 2 na lang. And then, pwede pa natin itong masimplify. So, masisimplify natin yan. Copy yung 2 cosine of 2x. And then, yung cosine squared 2x, kailangan natin ma-reduce pa rin yung power niya. Kaya, gamit ulit yung identity for powers of trigonometric function, pwede natin siyang ma-rewrite as 1 plus cosine of 2 times 2x, kasi yung ating angle na ngayon ay 2x, hindi na x, and all over 2. And don't forget, meron pa tayong 2 times 1 minus cosine of 2x. And then, pwede pa natin yung ma-simplify. So, dahil may over 2 tayo dito, over 2, so mag-times 2 tong mga nasa labas. So, 2 plus 4 cosine of 2x plus, just copy itong numerator. 1 plus cosine of 2 times 2x, that is 4x. But, meron din tayong denominator na 2 times 1 over cosine of 2x. Then, pwede natin itong masimplify. Multiply natin itong dalawang nasa denominator. So, simplify muna natin itong sa pinaka-numerator niya. So, 2 plus 1 is 3. And then, copy yung 4 cosine of 2x plus cosine of 4x. All over 2 times 2, that is 4. And then, copy 1 minus cosine of 2x. So, ito, hindi na natin ito masisimplify pa further. So, this can be our final answer. So, that's all for today. Thank you. Maraming salamat, KatroPICE. Remember that you are never alone in this journey. Nandito ang PICE-PUPSC Acad TV to guide you. Because here, we leave no one behind. Never lose hope, our future engineer. This is just the start.